Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Still with you and today's episode of Cairo Local Time, and still with our coverage of the National Election Authority's press conference announcing some of the results of the parliamentary election first phase. We are now delighted to be joined over the telephone by our guest for the afternoon, His Excellency Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, the former Assistant Foreign Minister. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Ambassador.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Fine, thank you, sir, and thank you, Mr. Ambassador, for your time. Let me start, Mr. Ambassador, by asking you about how you see today's press conference that was held to announce results of the first phase of the parliamentary elections, as well as some of the announcements that were said by the head of the Executive Office of the National Election Authority.
With a lot of interest, I'm following this, of course.
Yes.
Because this is a sort of practicing democracy. We are electing those who are going to represent us in the parliament and those who are responsible to watch the performance of our government, to see whether it's going according to the book, because everything is okay. But we need much more opinion to give the smallest details of our plan.
Yes.
And here Egypt is really ambitious to make our life much better. We are much better than many other countries. I want you to assure to our audience that we are much better than many countries in the world. On the contrary, I realize, according to the information, that all the world countries are diminishing.
Yes, Mr. Ambassador. Ambassador Gamal?
Somebody is disturbing us.
Yes, are you still with me on the line, sir? Yes.
Sorry, something is interrupting.
No, I'm sorry, sir. There seems to be a bit of a technical problem with our line, but carry on. Unfortunately, we have lost contact with our guest, His Excellency Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi. Hopefully, we'll get him back on the line to continue our discussion. But, of course, we were discussing the importance of today's press conference by the National Elections Authority and the announcements that were done today by the head of the National Election Authority, Councillor Hazem Badawi, who said, of course, that some of the constituencies, 19 constituencies, the results have been cancelled over irregularities. Once again, Mr. Ambassador, welcome back on the line. Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi. Your Excellency.
Yes, I hear another voice in Arabic, so I cannot hear you.
Oh, all right. Apologies, Mr. Ambassador. There seems to be a bit of a mix-up with the phone lines.
Yep.
Is that any better, sir?
How can I hear you now?
Yes, can you hear me, Mr. Ambassador?
Yes,
Right,
okay.
Thank you so much, sir. Right. So I was just going to ask you about the announcement today by Councillor Badawi, who said that election results have been annulled in 19 of the constituencies over recorded irregularities and breaches. How important is this step, in your opinion, in the democratic journey for Egypt, sir?
Yes, it is very important, of course, as we said.
Yes.
And we are old in this practice. I remember, I am an old guy, but I remember since I was a child in Damietta that my grandfather and my father insisted that we go and to see how election is going ahead. Because it was a matter of alliance between families, between those who have interest here or there. And in Damietta area, we were practicing this very good.
Mm-hmm.
Then, since I became 18 years old, I have the right to elect. When I was in Alexandria as a student, I was electing in Damietta. And somebody put my name also in Alexandria, so I have to pay the penalty because
you were recorded twice.
I
yes.
voted in Damietta, not in Alexandria.
Mm-hmm.
That is funny stories, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But I also, because I am as a diplomat, I travel a lot of countries. Here we are really civilized people that we talk reason. we don't fight at all. Took Brazil, for instance, they are hot people. They are quarreling all the time about this guy or another. But here now it is going ahead. And before we have this interruption, I was saying that Egypt economically is much better than many other countries.
Yes.
All the countries are suffering either because of the disease or because of the wars around us, because of the challenge between the largest economy in the world, the United States, vis-a-vis China and so on. So most of the countries of the world are making minus development, except 10 countries, Egypt among them. So we are making good development, but not good enough because we are greedy. We have hopes to cover 27 million children we gave birth in the last 10 years.
Yes.
This is a big challenge.
Absolutely.
And we want our life to be better.
Absolutely, Mr. Ambassador.
Yes, yeah.
Indeed. Now, of course, taking your opinion, of course, as a diplomat, as you said, the elections for the second phase of the parliamentary elections begin on Friday and Saturday and will be held abroad. How do you see the participation of Egyptians abroad and their keenness to cast their ballots as well as vote for people back home?
For me, it is a dear occasion also, because it is a very good occasion to see our citizens.
Yes.
I was in many countries, of course, as you can imagine, and I was trying to seize any occasion to see our citizens and to help them. And I always put a measure for myself. If an Egyptian is walking beside the embassy and he wanted to have a cup of tea on Egyptian standard and he hesitates, then I have something wrong. I want, even if a citizen wants to have a cup of tea or cup of coffee, to come, and we have to welcome him. And thank God that we have millions in Saudi Arabia, or 1.5 million in Europe, and all of them have very good reputation.
Yes.
So it is for our benefit to know them, to know where are they, as you certainly realize that many of our citizens living abroad are helping us in many of our problems, or to solve many of our challenges. So the relation between an embassy and the citizen is a top priority for all of us as diplomats.
Absolutely. Your Excellency, Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, the former assistant to the Foreign Minister, thank you very much, sir, for all your time and your insight, and for joining us this afternoon on Nile TV International. And of course, now we move to a presidential report on President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi's visit to the police academy on Tuesday. And this visit, of course, the president had a tour and observed several physical fitness tests for the male and female applicants to the police academy. Let's take a look.